diner door chimed softly as Emily Hart wiped the counter for the third time that hour, even though it was already clean. Christmas Eve always felt quieter than people expected, like the world was holding its breath. The small family-run diner sat on the edge of town, wrapped in warm yellow light and the faint smell of cinnamon and coffee. Outside, shop windows glowed with decorations, but inside, only 2 tables were occupied. Emily adjusted her green apron and told herself to keep smiling. Kindness, her mother used to say, mattered most when no one was watching. If this story touched your heart, show your love, like, share, and comment your thoughts. Emily had grown up believing that small moments could change a life. Her father had passed away years earlier, leaving her mother with debts and quiet courage. From her, Emily learned to notice the unseen and listen without interrupting. That habit followed her into adulthood and into this diner, where she worked extra shifts to help cover her mother's medical bills. Christmas Eve meant tips were scarce, but Emily didn't mind. She liked the feeling of serving comfort on a plate. The door chimed again, and an elderly couple stepped inside, pausing just beyond the threshold as if unsure they belonged there. The man held the door open for the woman, his coat thin and carefully buttoned, his posture proud despite the years etched into his face. The woman's scarf was neatly tied, her hands clasped together for warmth. They shared a glance before choosing the smallest table near the window. Emily noticed how they studied the menu longer than most, whispering to each other with soft smiles that carried both love and restraint. She approached them with her usual warmth. "Good evening. Merry Christmas Eve," she said gently. "Can I get you something warm to drink?" The men smiled. "2 teas, please. Just plain." Emily nodded and returned with steaming cups, placing them carefully on the table. As she turned to leave, she heard the woman murmur, "We'll share one meal later, Thomas." "It's plenty." Emily's steps slowed, but she kept moving. She'd heard that sentence before, spoken by people who counted coins and sacrifices. In the kitchen, she stared at the order pad, then at the festive chalkboard menu decorated with a shaky hand-drawn holly. Tonight, she decided, would be different. She brought out 2 bowls of hot vegetable soup, rich with herbs, and a basket of fresh bread. "On the house," she said quickly, before they could protest. "It's Christmas Eve. Our cook made extra." The woman's eyes widened. "Oh, we couldn't." Emily smiled, firm but kind. "Please. It would mean a lot to me." They accepted, hands trembling slightly as they thanked her. Emily returned to the counter, pretending to organize receipts while watching them savor each spoonful like a gift. They ate slowly, sharing smiles and memories, their shoulders relaxing as warmth settled in. After the soup, Emily brought 2 full dinner plates, roasted chicken, mashed potatoes, and vegetables glistening with butter. She set them down gently. "You shouldn't be hungry tonight," she said softly. The man looked up, his eyes shining. "You are very kind," he said. "My wife, Margaret, and I won't forget this." They ate with quiet gratitude, and when they finished, Margaret reached for her handbag, hesitating. Emily hurried over before she could open it. "Please don't worry about the bill," she said. "Tonight is my treat." Margaret's lips trembled. "Young lady, that's too much." Emily shook her head. "Kindness only feels heavy if we don't let it move us. Let me do this." Tears welled, but they nodded. Before leaving, Thomas slipped something into Emily's hand, closing her fingers gently around it. "For your kindness," he said. Emily waited until they were gone before opening her hand. Inside was a simple paper card with a handwritten note thanking her for restoring their faith in people. No money. Just words. Emily smiled and tucked it into her apron, feeling strangely lighter. The rest of the shift passed quietly. Emily helped close the diner, waved goodbye to the cook, and stepped into the crisp night air. Christmas lights twinkled, and for a moment, she felt content. Kindness had a way of doing that. The next morning, Emily returned to the diner early. As she unlocked the door, she noticed a sleek black car parked across the street, entirely out of place among the modest shops. She thought little of it until the door chimed and 2 well-dressed individuals entered, followed by Thomas and Margaret, now wearing tailored coats and polished shoes. Emily froze, confusion washing over her. Thomas smiled warmly. "Good morning, Emily." She blinked. Good morning, did you enjoy your dinner last night? Margaret laughed softly. Very much so. More than you know. One of the well-dressed individuals stepped forward. I'm James Whitfield, he said. I work with the Bell Foundation. Emily's heart skipped. She recognized the name. The Bell Foundation was known nationwide for its charitable work. Thomas and Margaret Bell. The realization settled slowly, like dawn breaking. Thomas cleared his throat. We didn't come to surprise you, though I suppose we have. Last night, we weren't testing anyone. We simply wanted a quiet meal and a reminder of what matters. Margaret reached for Emily's hands. We have more than we could ever need, she said gently. But what you gave us can't be bought. James handed Emily a letter. The foundation would like to offer you a scholarship to pursue your education, should you wish. And funding to help your mother's care. No obligations. Emily's eyes filled with tears. I didn't help you for this, she whispered. We know, Thomas said. That's why we're here. Emily looked around the diner, the place where kindness had felt ordinary, almost invisible. I just didn't want anyone to be hungry on Christmas Eve, she said. Margaret smiled. And because of that, many more won't be. They explained their plans to support the diner, fund local food programs, and create opportunities for workers like Emily who gave without expectation. Emily listened, overwhelmed but grounded by the same belief she'd always held. When they left, the diner felt brighter. Emily stepped outside, holding the letter close, not as a prize, but as proof that compassion echoed further than she ever imagined. That Christmas, Emily learned that kindness doesn't wait for recognition, and it doesn't measure worth by appearances. It simply shows up, warm and steady, like a meal shared when it's needed most. And sometimes, when given freely, it finds its way back, multiplied, reminding the world that hope often wears the quietest face.